Good morning, little explorers, and welcome to Meadowtown. Let's watch as the sun peeks over the horizon, casting a golden glow on this bright and bustling meadow. Can you see it? The tiny houses are made of colorful leaves and vibrant flowers. The whole town is waking up. Look over there. The ants are already marching in perfect straight lines, carrying tiny crumbs for their big breakfast. And up in the air, the ladybirds are fluttering their beautiful spotted wings, dancing in the warm morning sun. Listen closely. You might hear the grasshoppers. They're jumping high into the air, singing happy little songs as they stretch their long legs. It feels like today is going to be a day full of fun and adventure. Oh, look at that little ant. His name is Andy, and he's found a huge piece of bread. It's a fantastic find, but there's one tiny problem. Oh no, Andy squeaks, his little antennae wiggling with worry. This crumb is much heavier than me. He pushes and he pulls, but the crumb won't budge. His ant friends rush over to help. They all push together, huffing and puffing. But the crumb is just too round and slippery. It slips from their grasp, starts to roll, and it's picking up speed. It rolls faster and faster, right into, oh dear, the grasshopper playground. Watch out, shouts Gary the grasshopper, his eyes wide with surprise. The giant crumb comes bouncing through the playground like a runaway ball. It sends the grasshoppers flying in every direction. One lands in a soft flower, another tumbles onto a big green leaf, and one even bonks right into a sleepy ladybird who was taking a little nap, booing tumble. Thump. Everyone ends up in a big, mixed-up pile, but instead of being cross, they start to giggle. What a messy, silly crumb chase. The whole playground is filled with the sound of happy laughter. Just when it seemed the crumb would roll away forever, a tiny hero zips in from the sky. It's Lucky Lucy, the ladybird, her red and black wings buzzing like a tiny helicopter. Hold still, you mischievous little crumb, she says with a determined smile. With a graceful swoop, she lands on it like a superhero, perfectly balancing it on her back. The other insects stop laughing and stare in amazement. Don't worry, Andy, Lucy calls out cheerfully. I've got it. All the insects in the meadow cheered. The crumb was safe. Well, for now anyway, the adventure isn't over yet. But just as they started heading towards the anthill, their journey took a messy turn. A huge, gooey, sticky mud puddle blocked their path. It stretched from one side of the trail to the other. Oh no, I really hate mud, says Andy, dipping one tiny leg in and pulling it back out with a squish. He looks very nervous. But Lucy, ever the optimist, just flaps her wings. We can do it if we work together, she declares. Before anyone can make a plan, Gary the grasshopper gets a funny idea. With a mighty leap, he jumps right across, splashing mud absolutely everywhere and laughing like crazy. Inspired by Gary's big splash, the insects decide to try and work together to get across the mud. It was a good plan, but it got a little wobbly. First, Andy carefully climbed onto Gary's long back. Then Lucy clung to Andy's back. Soon, more and more ants joined the stack, climbing on top of each other. They wobbled left, they wobbled right. They looked like a wiggly, giggly insect tower. And then, crash, splat, the tower came tumbling down right into the middle of the puddle. Mud flew everywhere, covering everyone from their antennae to their toes. But instead of being upset, they all ended up in a laughing, muddy heap. After they all helped each other clean off the mud, they spotted something amazing. At the top of a tiny hill was a mountain of colorful, juicy berries. There were red ones, blue ones, and purple ones, all glistening in the sun. "Oh, wow," Gary exclaims, his eyes sparkling with excitement. He starts hopping from leaf to leaf, getting closer. "Let's make it to the top before lunch," he shouts to the others. And so the race began. The insects scrambled, tumbled, and even bounced off each other in their hurry to climb the Great Berry Mountain. What a delicious prize at the end of their adventure! They were almost at the top when, suddenly, a friendly face appeared from above. A spider named Sam swung down gracefully on a single, shiny silk thread. He waved one of his 8 legs with a friendly smile. "Need some help with those?" he asked, pointing to the pile of berries. The insects all laughed, a little out of breath from their climb. "Yes, please," they all shouted together. With a flick of his wrist, Sam spun a tiny, strong rope of silk and helped them pull the berries all the way up. Thanks to their new friend, the delicious berries made it safely to the anthill. What a feast they had! All the insects gathered around to share the wonderful berries. Andy nibbled on a big, sweet red berry, his tummy rumbling with happiness. Lucy the ladybird did a joyful twirl in the air, with tiny drops of purple juice sparkling on her wings, and Gary the grasshopper. He leapt from berry to berry, singing a silly song he made up on the spot. They laughed and danced and shared stories of their crazy day. They feasted together under the warm sun until it slowly began to set, painting the sky in beautiful colors. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the sky filled with orange and pink. The tired but happy insects lay down to rest on soft green leaves. The first tiny stars began to twinkle above them. "What a day," giggled Andy, feeling cozy and full. "We rolled crumbs, splashed in the mud, climbed a mountain, and even made a new friend," said Lucy softly, her wings tucked in for the night. "Best adventure ever," shouted Gary with a final, sleepy hop. And in the quiet, peaceful meadow, all the little insects fell fast asleep, dreaming of whatever silly new adventures tomorrow might bring. Thanks for joining us on this great insect adventure. If you loved meeting Andy, Gary, and Lucy, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fun stories from Meadowtown. See you next time, little adventurers.